RobertResnick. Chapter 2. Calamantan, Larsha, Sea Uncommonality, Capellan Confederation, 19 July 3047. Cassie's nostrils flared in amused contempt. It was no surprise to see the troopies of Glorious Redemption Detachment 325 thinking and acting like small-time crooks. That was, after all, exactly what they were. The Capellans were poor people, government propaganda said, kept that way by the selfishness and invidiousness of their neighbors, specifically Evil House Davian of the Federated Sons. Capellans could not afford to throw anything away, not even their criminal scum. An explosion suddenly rattled the front window, and Cassie felt the muscles between her shoulder blades go tight. For a moment, she was back in that long-ago day when her whole world died. Rusty looked out the window and bit her lower lip. Wonder if the Gwaylu'll come this way. Rusty was fair-skinned, with red hair and blue eyes that lacked the epicanthic fold, but she saw nothing incongruous in calling the raiders round-eyed devils. She was Capellan, and they were Davians. Bama shook his head, his ears sticking out from under his helmet like jug handles. "No," he said in his standard authoritative way. "They're hitting the mech base east of town. They won't come into the city." "Then what's that?" asked Snake, pointing her grubby finger out the front window. "A hopping ghost?" What looked vaguely like a man made of pewter had risen above the skyline to the north and was sailing across the dirty overcast in an upright posture. A lance of red light pulsed from its head. Then it sank from sight again on jump jets that flared from its club feet. Almost all of the spices here were illegal, or at least they would have been in our own town. I recognized some of them as mild poisons, but there were even more of them that were meant to take the edge off. Some of the spices would get a person high, some of them would make them feel like they could float, and a few of them would make them feel like they could fucking fly. "Excuse me," I said to the spice vendor, "aren't most of these herbs, illegal?" "Ah, you must be from one of the other fine cities in our empire," the dwarf chuckled. "Are you a trader?" "I have my hands in a lot of things," I said. "So do I," the spice vendor laughed. "These spices are harder to come by in other cities, it's true." "But not here," I raised an eyebrow. "No, not here," the dwarf replied. "You see, in the Gold City, there's only one real rule about what we can and cannot sell." "And what's that?" Dar, my gremlin friend, asked. "If someone will buy it, we can sell it." The spice vendor laughed again. "We don't have much time for morals around here. As long as the money's flowing, that's all we care about." "Good to know," I said. "Thanks for your time." "Keep me in mind if you ever find yourself in need of a little something special," the dwarf said with a smile. I nodded and moved on, and when we were all out of earshot, I glanced at my friends.
"You know what this means, don't you?"
Dar grinned.
"If things that are illegal in other places are legal here, then we might really be able to get our business off the ground."